Hey, how's it going, YouTubers? So it's a pretty exciting day today because this is a PSA sub return. So it's 19 cards. It was a 45-day sub with KK Sports Cards from Instagram. This one in total, this one definitely was a part of like the COVID-19 holdup. But this was entered at PSA. Let me look at the date. On December 6th, right? So that puts it at 93 business days and 139 calendar days. So absolute insanity. Okay, so 19 cards. You can see there on the left what the sub consisted of. This is my Instagram post. I always post these on my Instagram for submissions so that I can look back on them and remember what I posted, and then kind of get a feel for the time frame, because it gives you on the story it says 12 weeks, 14 weeks, however long ago you submitted. So typically these are blind reveals for me, and I'll be looking at the grades at the same time that you did. But this one had an issue with a couple of cards that made me really curious. And in the end, I couldn't resist, and I asked I asked Kyle if he could send me the snapshots of my grades, because he really just kind of wanted to start a dialogue with me about a couple of them, right? So you saw in the picture what was submitted, and so I'm just going to go through them. Oh, man, that is unfortunate, man. Look at that. Gosh darn. I don't know what happened there. I hope that... Okay. This happens. I'm hoping it's not one of the ones. There's two cards that I was already going to crack out. All right. And this one is one of them. So this is perfect. This works out because, as you can see, that grade is absolutely nuts. At the end of this video, I'm going to have this slab cracked out and I'm going to go through it. But that is insane. Kyle's very, very strict on his cards, and he'll let me know if there's any imperfections that I should know about. Obviously, this being cracked, there's some possibility for some damage in this area, and that would not help us do the discovery learning on why in the world it was a 6. This is kind of a bummer, though, and I was gonna crack one of these and figure out what was going on with them, but okay. So as you can see, that one got a 6. At the end of this video, we'll do a little bit of investigating on that. All right, so the next one is, again, the other 6. So 2 6s out of this order, and you can see those corners are sharp. I do a really good in-depth look at the surface, so I don't anticipate any surface issues. It's not an overwhelming centering issue that I can see. Yeah, this is a total mystery. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time because I'm going to talk more about that at the end of the video. Alexander Canario, and this one got a 10. All right, so prospect autographed. No issues with that one. I wonder how that first one got the damage to it, because this is pretty well packed. I would say I'll probably tell Kyle, like, maybe put padding on each side, right? Because that one was on the end. But like I said, I'm gonna crack that one anyways. That just helps me pick which one I'm gonna crack. Okay, so this is a Paddock refractor autograph, and it got a 10. Look at that shine. So as you can see, this is kind of what makes that one even more, those 2 6s even more of a mystery, is because I don't send a card that I think is not going to grade well. I just don't. I don't submit in bulk enough to just send 500 cards and hope for the best. Some folks do that, but when I'm sending cards, I'm screening them pretty heavily. I use a 20 times loop, and I get after the surface, edges, and all that. So Owen Miller got a 10. Another Owen Miller, and this one as well got a 10. Base autos. So there's another Tatis base. There we go. So there's the 10. So I had a couple more of these in the order. Juan Soto. This has become even bigger of a card in the recent market. That one got a 10. Another Juan Soto. And a 10. Again, I knew these grades, so no shock or any surprise or anything like that, because me and KK discussed it. He had those 2 6s on there, and he was just dying to like vent to me about it, right? So I accepted my grades early, and this one got a 10 as well. So again, going back to the theme, I screen these really, really, really heavily. And then Kyle is a second layer of screening. And, you know, if it doesn't pass his screening, then he's like, man, you shouldn't submit this one. It's more than likely going to 9 or 7 or 8 or whatever. So another base Tatis. I'm sorry, this is the All-Star. So I was really excited about this one when it popped on the grade, because I thought there was a chance that it might get a 9. Not for most glaring imperfections, but there's just a slight touch of white on that corner. And I thought, I mean, you know, with the wrong grader, they could have 9'd it, right? But cool. So these ones have been really tough for me. Got a 9 here. As I look at this one, it might be a centering left to right slightly on this, but in an earlier submission, I had an 8 that had a fingernail mark, like a line indent, like right through here. And I think I've talked about that one a couple times. It really bugs me because I didn't see it on the way out, and I know that I checked the surface, but who knows. But this one got a 9. Not sure what's going on with it, other than a slight left to right centering, maybe? I don't know. But either way, 9. Okay, refractor. So I got this one off a guy on Facebook, and he was, when he sold it to me, I don't forget what I paid, but, you know, he was really excited. He said, hey, man, it's really, really clean, and let me know what it grades. And sure enough, it came back a 10. So Paddock 150. So 150 is blue, right? So blue chrome auto, and that one came back a 10. Blue refractor. Number 96 out of 150. Another Tatis base. Oh, so I'm sorry, chrome refractor. So this is cool. This is the first one I have of this. I think I have 1 or 2 more at PSA, but first one I have held in my hand. So excited about that one. All right, so this one's purple, and this one came back a 9. So not sure. I think it might have been a surface issue with this one, but it wasn't something glaring, or I wouldn't have sent it. But happy to have it though. Okay, this is a base, and I got another 10 on the base. All right, so again, you can see how out of place these 6s are. It's really weird. 10. All right, again, pre-screened by me, pre-screened by Kyle. This one was in a big trade. I got this one in a big trade, and I was really hoping that it came back a 10, and it did. Look at that, Kyle. Got me. Oh, it's in there too, you booger. Everybody knows how this one looks, though. There's Kyle's business card. This is the action variation. Action variation, and it came back a 10. I was worried the centering left to right was going to be enough to throw it off, but it's near perfect. Left to right centering. So the heritage bases I haven't done really well with, but I was able to get a 10 on this action variation, which is much better. I would definitely prefer this one to come back a 10. So all right, I'm going to get after one of those 6s, pop it open, and I will attach the video to the end of this as to what in the world happened there. right, so I'm back, and it wasn't the greatest job of cracking out a card, but I will tell you that there are very few flaws with this card, and I'm going to try to catch it in the light. It almost looks like, this is all experimental. I apologize if it doesn't show up very well. Then I'll just show pictures. But there is two tiny little indents. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. It's not showing up on here very well, so I think I probably could just get it better with the camera. Gosh darn. The bottom line is there is just no way that this card is a 6. There just ain't. It's crazy. It just goes to show that, like, complete inconsistency of grading. Like, how could I have 5 cards submitted, 3 of them 10, and 2 of them 6? As if I have no idea what me or Kyle, who also looks at them, are doing. Like, I'm not a professional grader. I completely understand that. It almost looks, if there is anything wrong at all, it almost looks like this back half. See that way the light, like, it's almost like it was bent there. You can see it in the light on the edge there. You know, this edge, it just presents as more clean right off. When this one, but if you look at the card, it doesn't in any way look like that was bent, or that it's creased. The surface is good, the corners are good, the edges are good. But like I said, and it's really hard to get them on here, but there are like 2 small indents. There might be a little line there where my thumb's at. Goodness gracious, like top to bottom, a line. 2 of these things, 2 6s. Goodness gracious, I have no idea. I will probably just I will send this to SGC, mostly experimental, and the other 6, which is I think all the way back in the stack here. I'm just gonna keep this thing. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it in there. It's kind of like a gag gift thing. Like, not really a gag gift, but as a joke. I mean, you can see this card is just as clean. 6. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Thanks for watching. That was my PSA sub. I'm going to immediately, after I'm done with this, I think do a mail video, because I've had some stuff that I've gotten recently. I have 4 SGC orders out right now. I guess I'll do a later video on that, but there is my PSA reveal. 93 days, 93 business days, 139 calendar days.